Hi, it's Mike Leahy. Welcome to Swan TV and our latest chat show. And today I have with me Keith Milward and AK from Figero Barbers. In fact, Mr. Figero. So we're going to talk about AK's story, really, on arriving in Swansea. And we're going to talk to Keith and hope that he's going to produce a new show for Swan TV that's theatrical. And I feel that's going to be most interesting. So let's get on with it. Nice to welcome you both.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So let me first talk to Keith briefly and just talk about your background.
Well, my background, in show business, I've been involved since my early 20s because the very first show that I did was with Swansea Amateur Operatic Society. That was The King and I, and a co-cast member was Catherine Zeta-Jones, so I feel I started at the top. But I've done many years with Swansea Amateurs and Abbey Players, as well as Neath and Port Talbot Societies. But I did go professional because I had an opportunity to sing with a professional singing group called Black Mountain, and that singing group took me all over the United States. In all, we did 5 major tours of America. And hand in hand with that happening, somewhere along the way, I was asked by Stan Stennett, such a well-known entertainer of a certain generation. I was asked by him to be in his pantomimes. And even when he was 80, I was playing his mother. I was playing the dame in pantomimes and putting all the frocks. And the last pantomime that I was dame for him, I actually was his gran. So he was running around the stage shouting, gran, at the grand age of 80 or whatever. So when people say, what's your acting age? I say, well, it's anything up to 150.
Okay, have you ever been to a pantomime?
I've never been, but funny enough, in the school, I started from a school theatres. And I've always had it in me that I really want to be an actor. But I
Did
never
you know
been to
about
a pantomime.
pantomimes?
I didn't know until I came to UK, I'll be honest with you.
But you
But
know
then
basically it's like...
I know what's going on, the basics, when they come and they do the shows and entertaining people.
The prince is a girl
Yes.
and the dame is a man. It's
There we
just...
go. Yeah, I need to study more about that,
Well,
don't I?
we've just done a very traditional pantomime in Britain Ferry.
Oh,
and
wow.
again, I was the dame, so I was again dressed in the frocks.
Okay.
But in a comical way, you know. And then we went very traditional because, as you say, we had a girl principal boy who was playing Colin in Mother Goose. And so the girls used to slap their thighs and, you know, or be the prince.
I'm going to come and watch the next one.
Oh, it's very British. It's very British. It's
like
something which very much for Britain. And they've tried it in America, and I thought that Americans would love it because they love being, you know, in a gang and everybody taking part together.
True,
but
yes.
it's very British, and you can have the biggest pantomimes, like the London Palladium, and yet you can have village pantomimes. And while we're on that subject, isn't it fantastic to know that Swansea Grand Theatre has won the UK Best Pantomime Award from the Pantomime Awards Association. So the Beauty and the Beast, which was obviously just a few months ago over Christmas and into the new year, starring Kevin Johns and Matt Edwards.
Who was the dame?
The dame was Kev Johns, of course.
Oh,
yes, it was.
I would pass for the Beast, so next time invite me.
And Stephen Pedgick, of course, as the Beast. And Hayley Gallivan playing the young heroine, Rebelle, in Beauty and the Beast. And Joe McFadden was also, like a Gaston character in that, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a great pantomime because they had a new way of presenting scenery, and it was so digital. And the jury was out with me before I saw it because I thought, was it going to be all little dots? But no, it has to be seen to be believed. It's very much animated. So, you know, if there was an outside scene, you'd see the trees were moving and the grass even. And then when, say, the fairy came on, as well as there being the pyrotechnics with the flash, there would be all sort of magical stars behind her, and in a big way. It was beautiful. We won the best pantomime.
So is this really like Strictly Come Dancing background?
Well, possibly, yes. You know, I suppose
seen
we
those.
expect so much from television and from visuals these days, don't we?
Yes.
You know, so when you see it on stage, together with the great acting and the hilarity between Kev Johns and Matt Edwards in particular, you know, it became the talk of Swansea, and it's not going to be a surprise to those who saw it that we won. We even beat the London Palladium.
Saying that, when I went to Florida to Disney World, I actually went and watched Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, did you?
And that was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, there we are.
Yeah,
There we
so
are.
I would like to come and see it next time when
There's
you do
some-
anything like that.
There's something about live entertainment, isn't
There
there?
we are.
You know, so it gives us a lift. It does give us a lift. You know?
Live entertainment. What was your lift at the weekend then?
Oh, the lift at the weekend. Well, for the third time in 2 weeks, I've been to London, and I saw the most wonderful production of Guys and Dolls. And it's quite a groundbreaking version in London. It's at the Bridge Theatre, which is a new theatre opposite Tower Bridge. But it was immersive. So part of the audience were sort of walking with the characters, and there were levels raising from the ground where the actors were acting and singing. Guys and Dolls is always a winner, but to see that like that. And of course, we should also mention that it was Port Talbot Amateur, or they call themselves Port Talbot Musical Theatre Company now. They did 95 last week.
Oh.
And a highlight this week is going to be seeing Dracula tonight at the Swansea Little Theatre with
I'm
Dylan
glad
Thomas.
you mentioned Dracula because
Yes.
we interviewed some of the cast and
Yes.
we'll be showing that short.
Oh,
within
that's
this
great.
programme.
Oh, that's
So
super. Well,
that's
wish
great.
them well. It's the opening night tonight.
It is. They were superb talking to me yesterday.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it down at the Little Theatre. It's
Oh.
such an intimate theatre, really. It only seats 141 people.
Yeah, something like that. But it's
That's
great then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
we're all in it together now.
Yes,
aren't
of course, yeah.
Yeah. So let me just talk to AK about his story.
Okay.
You know, I think that nowadays you can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. And what we want to do on Swan TV is bring out some of those extraordinary stories of people who have succeeded and are succeeding locally. So let's talk to AK and his fantastic journey. So tell me how it started. When did you arrive in
Well,
Swansea?
let me tell you one thing, Mike. The first thing that came to my head, unlike other people, was that people tell me that you live once only. But I didn't think like that. I thought you live every day and you only die once. So I came to Swansea about 13 years ago. I came on different political matters where I'm refugeed to a different country. I don't know the language and I don't know the people. I can't speak a word of English. I don't have a single penny in my pocket. And that's where my journey started from 13 years ago in a Swansea city.
Wow.
Right, so you arrived, you couldn't speak the
I
language.
arrived, I couldn't speak the language at all. So I started venturing around, started finding out about what's in Swansea. I even slept in the streets, in a post box outside the high street, slept in there a few days, few nights, until I found a place for myself. Slowly started picking up the language. And how I picked up the language was, I used to sit down, pick up the newspapers that I was seeing on the streets, start writing them down, get the vocabulary meaning of them, start reading them every day and try to learn from that. Then obviously my background was always studying and sports. I was a semi-professional basketball player back home in Kurdistan, in Iran.
That makes sense because of your height.
Yes, 6'4". Do you understand that? I'll be cut off from the camera. So I believed my life was surrounded by studying always. So I've done a degree in physical education and sports science in Iran, in Tehran. And then when I came here, I wanted to study and study and study. So what I did, I went to the theatrical college. Over there, they helped me to pick up a course, and equivalent to all the qualifications that I had from Iran, Kurdistan, they put me through A-levels. So I did math, biology, physics, and chemistry. Now, in the meantime, I was getting 1 hour practice every day for my English to be what it is at the point. Like, I remember somebody came and told me something, and I just went, yes, of course. And everyone laughed. And I was like, what are you laughing for? So apparently the
This
guy
is
was
quite
telling me if
incredible.
he's allowed to bring the pram inside. And I thought, he's asking me if you can go to the toilet. So yes, of course, show him the toilet. And not long after that, I started applying for university, for UCAS, through the UCAS website. So I'd done a degree in a business. I'd done half a degree in accounting, didn't finish that because I took an apprenticeship in a barber shop and I started sweeping the floors every single day.
I find this particularly interesting because half of me is entertainment, but the other half, I'm a careers guidance counsellor.
Okay.
And to see and to hear your story, that's quite incredible.
Well, thank you very much.
And it's a good example, really, isn't it, to show what can be done.
Well, the thing is, there's loads to be done. You should never give up on your dreams. I believe that we dream because God has given us those visions. That look, you're having these dreams, you go and achieve those dreams because I'm giving them to you. I'm showing them to you every day. So I started doing an apprenticeship in a barber shop, sweeping the floor. I was getting paid, 50 quid a week, something like that. I was all right. I was making some living off it, have some food, walk to the college, come back, sweep the floor, walk to college, come back, sweep the floor. So
Wow.
I done this process for a year. In the meantime, it was a good opportunity because my English was improving. People was coming in. I was learning the culture. I was picking up different stories from people, where they live, how they live. So I became the AK that you see now about 13 years ago, instantly. But when I say instantly, I woke up one morning and I had all the practice that I need. I've learned English, I've learned how to cut hair, I've met friends, I made other friends. I learned about the culture, I learned about the people, I'm valuing the money that I'm making, and I'm appreciating every morning the first breath that I'm taking, because I could have been somewhere a lot worse than Swansea.
But you know, you've done so well with your education in Iran and this country.
Yes.
Proved yourself twice
Yes.
over, really, haven't
And
you?
apart from that, I got 7 different qualifications from hair and beauty sector. So I got MVQ level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 in each sector of hair and beauty.
Was this up at Teacock?
I've done that in a Port Talbot college, Nissan
right.
Port Talbot. There was a college there.
Beneath Port Talbot
What's it
College.
called? Abna?
Yes, Avon, no,
It's a Welsh name.
College.
Yes.
And of course Swansea College with Rick Teacock.
Yes.
When Gossain and Teacock amalgamated.
Yes.
You know, so Swansea.
I would like to go to Teacock and
Gower
teach
College.
because I think I could add a lot more value to the students that are there because of, with me now, apart from having chain of barbershops that I achieved to, I've achieved to have a chain of products regards hair and beauty. So I got my own brand of products where it starts from loads of waxes for human hair according to the weather and the country they live in. I got different aftershaves for men. I got different perfumes for ladies. I got shaving gels, creams, and shampoos, especially anti-hair loss. I'm not looking at your hair now.
Is it, what's interesting, what you may be interested at one time, because of my involvement with Black Mountain Singers, Black Mountain Male Chorus of Wales at the time, we were after a new image, and I ended up on a programme called Style Challenge, and I actually had a makeover. I did have more hair in those days, but my hair was cut by Trevor Sorby, which is one of the top hairdressers of the country.
Master Barber.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
there we are.
Master
So
Barber,
I thought
yeah.
that might impress you.
That's good. Yeah, I did. Well, I've actually done loads of competitions across the UK: Scotland, England, Manchester, Bristol, Bath, Swansea. I got few awards. I got a Swansea Life Awards for best barber, best hairdresser.
Congratulations.
I've been awarded the best dressed female in Wales, the best dressed female. Sorry, did I say the best dressed female?
Yes, you did.
Now let me clarify this. English is my 5th language. That's why. So I speak Kurdish, my tongue language.
Wow.
I speak Persian, which is Farsi. I speak fluently Arabic. I speak fluently Turkish. And I speak, of course, English.
That's
as much
so
as you see.
impressive.
Now let me tell you a few things about Welsh.
Yeah.
I know how to say dwi'n half and coffee.
Oh,
Diolch,
then.
Cymraeg, Abertawe. And then I know one more word. And that is araf. You'll always see it on the roads.
Well,
So just tell us briefly about how the shops are built up.
Okay, so I told you about being an apprentice. Thanks to the Welsh government, I had a grant for £6,400 and I managed to save up about £4,000-5,000 around 2012-13 and I started looking at places. So the first place I looked at was the High Street one, and you've been to my branch, Mike, you have.
Yeah.
The first one, I used the grant from the government. I start buying one clipper, pay for the lease, get solicitor, do legal works, get water, electric, everything sorted. Obviously, I didn't know anything about business until I went to university. I learned about it, what to do, what not to do. So that was a big help. I bought one clipper, I bought one hairdryer, one scissor, one thinner scissor, one brush, one comb, one spray. And this is how I started. And I still remember to this day that the first customer I had was a young boy. And the young boy could not reach the chair because the chair was high. So I had to ask his dad to come and sit down, and I put the young boy on his lap. I don't think he liked it, but believe it or not, that young boy is still my customer.
Wow.
For 13 years after.
That says a lot.
Now,
Go on.
yes, now from that, I started going to competitions, started meeting people, started creating customers. My English improved, my skills of cutting improved, my skills of community, like talking to people and approaching people, improved, and I started employing people. I went to the job centre, I went to Tico College, I went to the colleges. I said, look, I got the skills, I want to employ people, I want to bring them in, give them jobs, and I started giving jobs to people and make sure that they learned the way that I do, the way that I talk to customers, the way that I cut their hair, the way that I bring them in. So Figero's way. That's what I say it. If you're a barber and you're not doing it Figero's way, you're doing something wrong. Because Figero's has made sure that over 90% of the barbershops that open in Swansea trained by Figero's barbers. You bring me any barber in this city that has not been trained by Figero's barbers, even if it's for one day.
That's
Now,
incredible.
that-
And your customers now, you have all the footballers.
I got the footballers, and 2014, David Cameron came down actually, and I still got a picture with him. If you all remember, I'm sorry, Mr. Cameron. If you all remember, he had a haircut for £80 in London, and we all criticised him, right? Then I used to charge for a haircut £7, and I was doing all the footballers' hair. So Swansea football players like Leroy Fair, players like Luciano Narthing, Aaron J. Lewis, Dan James, Barry McKay, Ollie McBurney, players such as Cameron, which is playing for national American football. He was on the World Cup. A few of the players that I cut their hair, they were presented in the World Cup. So I put from Evening Post, they came down and said, what do you think about it? And I said simply, Mr. Cameron needs to come down to Swansea, have a look at the state on a high street to see what is it like, because he was in a good state, and have a haircut for £7 and give the rest of £73 to the council or someone else to look after the place. Week after, Mr. Cameron comes down to High Street with 4 different cars and everything. I'm going to see him, I'm giving him a haircut, and it was a good experience. It was, and I always used to see Mr. Cameron on the TV before, because I was in a different country and I was only seeing him on TV.
That's amazing.
Now we're cutting that off now. I started getting another grant from government. Again, thanks to Welsh Government, thanks to Swansea Council. I know I put the work on, I know I worked hard, I know I've learned the language, I picked up the skills, but they were the ones to help me out as well. They gave me grants, they gave me support, they told me what to do. Thanks to Business Wells, I can't forget about the Business Wells, they helped me out a lot. I opened up my second branch, then the third came, and the fourth came, and the fifth came, and the sixth, and the seventh. Now, across the town, we've got 7 branches of Figero Barbers, which we've got very professional, trained barbers in there. Whoever that comes will stay with us for 2 weeks, trained by myself, even if it's super professional or a master barber. As long as it's not a Figero's way, he will not cut any of the customer's hair until I approve.
That sounds great. Now tell me about the future. Where will you be in 5 years?
So, in 5 years' time, I would be having my own academy, which I got loads of people trained across the UK. And I will be creating the Figero Barbers brand all over the UK. I'm having a new brand coming for the hair and dust, which is called, I'm not going to get the name out. You thought I am I? I'm not going to give the name out. It's going to come soon. You'll be waiting for the hair dust. It's a new revolution product that comes into hair sector, and it will make sure that you don't lose your hair, you don't lose your hair, the other one don't lose your hair, and everyone keeps the style they want. In 5 years' time, I want to have at least a branch in Cardiff, Bristol, Bath, Manchester, and Birmingham. London, not yet, because London is being controlled by the bigger guys, which they know a lot more than me. And I know I got experience, and I know I've been to this country, but those guys have born into this country, and those guys have studied in here from the age of 1 month old till today, and they're older than me and they got more experience than me. But 5 years after it, I'm coming for you in London. I'm not gonna stop, and I will revolutionize the barbering industry. I would like to have a very good academy, which it turns to a college and university, which the people will come and train by us, and they will learn our skills, be qualified by us. Then they will be having apprenticeship in our Figero's branches. Now, this will help to secure jobs, and we will focus on the youth people, 16 or 14 till age of 23, 24, to bring them out, the people that are in the care homes, the people that have lost their parents, the people that have gone through struggles. We have loads of kids that made mistake at the age of 16. Now they're in, what they call the place that they keep them for children's, to look after them.
Yeah.
I want to get all of that places. I want to take them out. I want to choose the big good ones. I want to give them a new life. I've been given a new life.
But your story is quite remarkable, isn't it? It's quite amazing, and the way that you speak, it's contagious. You know,
Okay.
and you know, so I can imagine that young people will respond to you and to the training that you're giving, which I think has to be applauded.
Yes.
Absolutely marvellous. Isn't it?
As long as we remember, I'm sorry to cut you, as long as we remember that we should never forget who's been there for you.
Yeah.
And we should never forget, how did you start? I will never forget how I started, who helped me out. I really appreciate all of those people. The person that helped me out, teach me how to cut hair, his name is Robbie. He's still a barber. He's a great barber. He's amazing. And to this day, I will owe majority of the things that I learned to this person, which his name is Robbie. And I will appreciate, and I'd like to send a hello to him now.
Mm-hmm.
AK, that's a remarkable story, and thank you for telling us.
Thank you very much.
Interestingly, I
Wow.
used to work for a company called Henry Saventi in London.
Okay.
We introduced the backwash, we introduced the wall dryers, and we used to do the salons for people like Vidal, Sassoon,
Wow.
Raymond,
Wow.
most of the major people in London
Wow.
back in the 60s.
Maybe I should take you with myself to London. You know, I'll be like, that's my uncle.
But that's another story.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
No
sharing.
problem at all. No worries.
And Keith, thank you for coming and talking to us.
Oh,
I really just wanted to introduce
pleasure.
you today and your background, because I feel we're going to have a really interesting weekly show with you about show business. We want to hear what you think of Dracula.
Oh
We've
yes,
seen that.
yes.
And we're going to delve much more into show business with you over the week. So
I look forward to it.
thank you both.
Thank you
for
very much.
coming
Thank you. It
down.
was nice meeting you as
You
well,
too.
Keith. Thank you. It's nice meeting you. Thank you very much,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Thank
Mike.
you.
Thank you.
So there's another show winding up. However, don't forget, come back next week and keep watching, because we're going to show a little excerpt from Dracula and some of the cast talking about the performance. If you get a chance, go down to the Little Theatre till this Saturday. It's going to be brilliant. Wow. And there will be other shows too to watch. Keith will tell you all about them as we go along. Thanks for watching Swan TV. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.